Hey, welcome to Graphic Policy Television GPTV. I'm Brett. We're doing an unboxing of our first figure from the G.I. Joe Classify series, the new line of figures, updating the classic G.I. Joe figures to 6-inch line. Hasbro announced these, I think, like about February or so, and they are just hitting, the first wave is just hitting stores now. Super excited to open this up and show this off. We're going to start with Roadblock and go in order that they are numbered by. So Roadblock is number 1. We're going to start with Roadblock. You know, I grew up playing with a lot of toys. Grew up in the 80s. G.I. Joe was one of the lines that I was always really a fan of. G.I. Joe, Transformers, and Legos were kind of my trilogy of toys. There are some other ones that were in there, but really those were the ones that stuck out. And it's been exciting to see this line come out and how things might be updated a bit. From what I remember, like, I didn't have Roadblock growing up. I'm pretty sure I didn't have Roadblock, but Roadblock is one of those characters that always stands out. I kind of joked and thought about trying to do a whole video in his speech pattern and all his rhymes, but I would just come off like a moron if I did that. So I'm going to spare you of that. So the first thing is, obviously the packaging is really nice, but like the classic G.I. Joe figures, it's all about the art. That's the thing that really jumps out. And I kind of want to show off and give some props on that. So Roadblock's art is by Mike Thompson and Ken Lashley. They did, I think, a fantastic job. It's really cool design, really captures the character well. So, this figure, we can see it comes ready to do battle. Of course, obviously, articulation we're going to show off. And the accessories really kind of are inspired by the character's classic, his heavy weapons. He's got a heavy artillery blaster that comes with it. And yeah, so we're gonna open up, we're going to show off this one-man wrecking crew, the classic Roadblock, one of the standout characters from G.I. Joe. Really excited to dive in and check him out and see what this line is all about. And keep me honest, so this is my first one opening up. I've not checked out any of the figures, so I really don't know what to expect. We got the star within. I don't want to do too much damage to the packaging because that art's really cool and it seems like it's going to be pretty nice to display at some point. Alright, so I always like to do stand tests. How easy is it for a character to just be propped up and standing? And I moved his ankles a bit, so this is probably on me. He's getting there. Alright, there we go. Took a little bit, but I got Roadblock standing, so I'm very happy with that. I always kind of want to see if this how difficult it is to get the characters to stand on their own. Alright, so I'm just going to give my quick glimpse around the character. Well, we'll do the bend test I always like. So let's check out articulation. Of course, the ankle, we actually have a pivot to side. And it doesn't look like it goes up and down at all. There are pegs on the bottom, just like classic G.I. Joe. There is articulation at, I guess that would be the shin. Knee is double jointed. See that articulation there. Upper thigh has some turn as well. Little bit loose on the right leg. The left leg is fairly tight. Ankles are a little bit, it kind of, while it's not the old school rubber band, the pegs do kind of remind me of the old school G.I. Joe. So obviously the legs bend pretty well. That's not an issue. Waist. We get some twist at the waist, some bend up and back. Pretty solid on that. Alright, let's check arms. Obviously up and down is pretty simple. That way is pretty simple. We've got a bend at the upper bicep. Like the knees, the elbow is a double joint. Wrist is pretty common to what we would expect in today's figures. Twist around, up and down, all good. And now the final is the head. Obviously back and forth is really easy, and a little bit up and down. So articulation is pretty solid. You know, not many issues here. The joints are pretty solid, pretty good. I'm not seeing too many issues. Overall, I'm going to give some good credits on the figure. The details are good. Like, so I'm not noticing any issues with paint. Like, I don't see any splashes. I don't see any bleeding of the paint at all. The only thing that really stands out at all is the star on his chest. Feels a little bit faded. I don't know if that is on purpose. I haven't seen any other figures, so I can't really compare. I do like the tattoo on his arm. It looks good. It looks like a lion. The lion looks actually pretty good. The style comes out well. The red's really nice. Like, I'm not seeing any issues coloring wise. So overall, I think the figure is pretty good. We do get some nice standout colors here that kind of pop a little bit. So overall, like, coloring is solid. There's, I think, no issues at all. And the design is pretty cool. Like, you know, it feels like a little bit of an updated Roadblock from back in the day of G.I. Joe. Like, this is an updated version of that classic character. So the one thing also I said in the original video, and seeing it here, the eyes do kind of remind me of G.I. Joe the movie when he got blinded. That blue-eyed, I can't see. So that's maybe the only thing that stands out. It's not something I remember in the smaller version that his eyes were like that, but the eyes they bug me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. The details of the figure I think is pretty solid. There's some nice sculpting to it, good detail on the sides, on the back. You know, just overall, it's just a nice figure. This isn't a figure that necessarily blows me away that I said, holy crap, like, I have to have it. It just feels like well done. The details on the face I think are really good. The beard isn't just painted on. There is some raise to it, and there is some texture to it. The eyes, the details on the eyes are really good. I know I just said that it bugs me a little bit and feels a little odd, but, like, there's depth to it, which is pretty good. And then it might sound weird, but the ears actually look really good too. Don't know why the ears are standing out to me, but the ears are standing out to me. Alright, so let's look at some of the accessories, or all the accessories that the figure comes with. There's 3 of them. So this looks like, I guess this is ammo for the gun. But we'll start with the knife. Comes with a knife. Pretty sure that just goes right here. Small detail. Interesting place for placement. You know, obviously a lot of figures with other lines, you'd see the knife on the legs or maybe the hip, but we got it on the chest, which I think works pretty well. But really, let's face it, it's all about the gun. This is just an obnoxious large gun. It looks silly, it looks goofy. I kind of would have rather just had a straight up Gatling gun, I think, personally. But it's very G.I. Joe. Alright, I'm guessing, so this is a clip. I'm going to go with the clip goes that way because there's a design on the bottom. So I'm going to go with the clip fits in that way as opposed to, with the design pointing out as opposed to design pointing in. Doesn't really say, but I'm going to go with that. I don't think it really makes much of a difference. Alright, so let's go and we'll give Roadblock his gun and see... We'll see how easy it is to, one, get the gun in his hand. It's very, very difficult. Very kung fu grip updated. Alright, so we got the gun is in. Holding it on totally fine, no problem. Let's try to recreate the pose they've got in their promotional. That's alright. The big question would be is Yeah, he's he's standing pretty easy even with the gun. So that was going to be my big question, would be is how difficult after giving him the gun would it be to get him to stand? Not that difficult. That was not bad at all, especially with such an unbalanced weapon. Not bad. Like, you know, there's... I think I'd maybe position it a little bit different. Not bad. Like, this is a good figure. This is not like... not going to be a figure that I'm going to sit there and say this is like the greatest adaptation or greatest version of Roadblock. But this is pretty decent. It's a solid figure. I think it does well as part of the line. Overall, I'd be fairly happy with it. Like, I'm fairly happy with it. Like, as I said, doesn't blow me away, but it's good. It's just a good, solid figure. Really interesting. So I'm going to be fascinated to see how this figure stands up compared to the other ones as I open them up and do a review of them. As I said in the original video, every single figure is going to get an unboxing. We're going to go one figure at a time. Very similar stuff to this. So ask questions if you got any. Overall, like, decent figure. There's a bunch of stuff I probably would have done different. The big one would be is a different weapon. Yeah, that was about it. I think that's the big thing that really stands out to me, and maybe some small details here and there, but overall, like, good adaptation of Roadblock. Nothing amazing, just good. This is like just a solid effort. You can go get this in stores now. It's out in shops. They should retail for about $19.99. We're going to go and try to find some links that you can purchase your own Roadblock with. They're probably going to be affiliate links, so we get a small percentage of that. By doing that, you help support our site, though, so thank you. As always, much appreciated. If you are looking for the latest news from G.I. Joe or Hasbro, check us out every single day at graphicpolicy.com. We're on, of course, everywhere, social network, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Tumblr, all that, all Graphic Policy, keeping it nice and consistent. So until next time, as always, much appreciated. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Keep playing with your figures, and keep it geeky. Yo, Joe! Hey, thanks for watching the previous video from Graphic Policy Television. Just by watching, you help support our site. Thank you so much. Now, if you're watching these videos, you probably care about geeky things like movies, television, comic books, toys, games, video games, you name it. You can go and subscribe right now to our YouTube channel to stay in touch and catch all the new videos, or check out our website at graphicpolicy.com. There's a nice link on this end of the video. But as always, thank you for watching. Keep on rocking and keep it geeky.